Welcome back to a better NFL Top 100, number 60 through 51 here on this list. We're almost halfway there. We will be halfway there once this video is concluded. If you have not seen the other, if you want to know number 61 through 100, those videos are out on this channel. Definitely check that out. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the list. Number 60 is the Denver Broncos corner, Patrick Surtain, who, very hyped up coming out of college. A lot of people kind of made fun of the Broncos for drafting him over Justin Fields, but still they liked him. First year was good. He looked good for a rookie. He wasn't perfect. He had some ups, he had some downs. Year two, he was awesome. I mean, year two, he was legitimately like a true number one corner. And if, corners can be a little fluky year in and year out, but if he does another season like that, he's definitely going to shoot up the leaderboards even more. For now, just due to the sample size, I'm keeping him at number 60. But Denver absolutely very happy. They're not looking back on that, just that draft pick and saying, man, I wish we drafted Justin Fields. Might be, wondering about the Russell Wilson thing right now. But the Surtain pick, at very least, they've gotten a very good player for him. So with him. So yeah, he's here at 60. Number 59 is Derwin James, who unfortunately has had kind of that, it's become Derwin James when healthy, right? That's part of his name. You never like it when healthy is sort of an extension of your name, but that is the case with Derwin James, the safety of the Chargers. But when he's healthy, he is legitimately a superstar caliber player and one of, if not the best safety in the league. I have a couple safeties ahead of him, but not many. I mean, he's definitely one of the more dominant players and means so much to that defense. Again, the injury thing sucked. That does kind of hurt him a little bit, but as a whole, star player, he's 59. And 58, let's go a quarterback. Always fun to talk quarterbacks on this list. Lamar makes the list here at number 58. Not the only quarterback we'll be talking about today. Another quarterback in this section in the 50s. But Lamar makes the list at number 58. Someone who, listen, I think some people would argue should be higher. Some people would argue should be lower. I think Lamar, I'm very fascinated in what's going to happen this next season. I think the jury's still out on Lamar. I don't think that we fully know exactly how good he is because we've never seen him with a great receiving core. This year, we should see that, at least on paper. Again, who knows how this stuff works, but on paper, this receiving core could be really good. If it is, what will that mean for Lamar? Will it kind of have him return to that MVP caliber player that he once was? Or is he still a flawed passer? And maybe is this just, will just kind of let us know? Either way, we'll find out a lot of information about Lamar Jackson this next year. But for now, still a very good player. Even if this is just what he is, that's still a great player and 58 on the list. Number 57, we're going from someone in Lamar Jackson who is now teammates with Odell Beckham Jr. to someone who was traded for Odell Beckham Jr. kind of the draft pick, at least, that was selected on the Giants selected Lawrence with was traded for in the Odell Beckham trade. Dexter Lawrence has been awesome. I mean, the guy had 7.5 sacks last year as an interior defensive lineman, and he's still just 25. I mean, there's totally reason to believe his career is just getting started. So, as someone who definitely can, be a disruptor, definitely helps things out for a lot of the other teammates around him. And I do kind of wonder where that Giants defense would have been last year if he wasn't there. I think he means so much to that defense. So he's at 57. And 56, we're sticking with the Giants. Why not? Saquon Barkley, a running back of the Giants, of course, makes the list here. Obviously, electric player. I think another guy who it's like, him and Lawrence, maybe the stats don't really do them justice. I think a big part of why the Giants offense was good last year was not just what Barkley did by running the football, but what he did by the threat of running the football. How that was, you basically had to be a little concerned if you were going up against Saquon and how well he could, rush the football. Teams would really play to take away the run, which would then allow things to get better. So, the passing game to open up, that kind of stuff. So, 56, Saquon, 57, Dexter Lawrence. And next up on the list, at 55, Jonathan Taylor, who, I won't lie, tough to put him on this list. Tough to figure out where to put him on this list, I should say. Obviously, he belongs on the list, in my opinion. 55, maybe some people will feel this is high. Maybe some people won't. But I do think that, listen, last year he wasn't a top 100 player. He just wasn't. But 2 years ago, he was like a top 10 player. So it's like, how do I, determine where you belong on the list when you're, that kind of situation? So much went wrong for the Colts last year. I don't know if it's fair to completely blame Jonathan Taylor for everything that went wrong. In fact, I feel pretty confident in saying it is not fair to blame him for everything that went wrong. But how much blame does he deserve? Because at the end of the day, he's only had one elite year, but that year was so good. I'm still keeping him here at 55. Just an interesting player, and tough to put on the list, but I have him at 55. Number 54, a guy who I've never really understood why people are so low on Mathieu. I thought it was great for the Chiefs. They asked so much of him, Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, he was able to deliver. I mean, with how much he was asked to do, what he was able to still pull off. And I know the numbers aren't quite as good because, like, yeah, when you're going up one-on-one against good receivers, like, your numbers aren't going to be as good as the guy who just stays back in zone coverage every single play. Like, that's kind of how safeties work. But I still thought his advanced numbers are still pretty good. And then they were even better last year in his first year with the Saints. He was great with them, and they asked a lot of him as well, and he's able to deliver on that. Tyrann Mathieu is absolutely a superstar player. Not quite a top 50 player for me, but very close. Number 53 is the Buffalo Bills linebacker. Both Bills linebackers from last year make this list, although Edmonds is now gone. Milano is still going to be just as good, and does everything well. He's just kind of one of those linebackers that, like, you have no notes when you watch Matt Milano play. He's a great coverage player, great run defender, does all the little things, can make splash plays when the opportunity presents themselves. Really no negatives you can argue if Milano has a big sample size of being successful. So yeah, I think he's great. He's here at 53. 52, Justin Herbert, quarterback of the Chargers, of course, who, I think is great. I really do feel like for Herbert, I think I don't know if he gets enough credit actually for what he can do and what he did for the Chargers. He's someone who I think is a very effective player for them, and I think that there were so many situations last year where I was just watching the game and, like, okay, his numbers aren't great, but, like, what is he supposed to do? Nothing is getting open. He's still finding ways to do what he can, move the ball down the field, make these clutch plays, get these third down conversions, things like that, buy enough time to make something happen. He's so good at doing all those little things that allowed his team to get the ball down the field. I do think that with the addition of Quentin Johnston, you have now hopefully three good options where, again, last year there were a lot of injuries. This year, hopefully, there will be healthy, three good options. This could be awesome for Herbert. For now, though, 52, just outside of the top 50. And number 51, the last player to not make the top 50, but still be on the list, is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I think, again, you could argue he's starting to enter that elite territory of, like, that Cooper Kupp level of territory. I would say that we've seen now multiple really good years from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Last year was the first time we saw him beat at, like, borderline elite player, though. Again, interesting in the sense of, like, the Cooper Kupp is the comparison of this sort of elite player who primarily plays out of the slot. You don't really see that too often, but a lot of these kind of new school offensive minds are saying, hey, we don't need our superstar to be someone who just goes on the outside and, wins like a Mike Evans. I'm like, hey, just run go routes and, make them double team you. And if they don't, then, catch the 50-yard bomb. Like, sometimes you could be a little bit more clever than that. And that's what the Lions do with Amon-Ra St. Brown. They use him in so many unique ways, and he's able to deliver in so many unique ways. So yeah, that is 60 through 51. Again, the list, this part of the list again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Herbert, Matt Milano, Tyrann Mathieu, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Dexter Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Derwin James, and Patrick Surtain. Those are the 10 to make this. If you want to figure out, wait, what were the, number 61 through 100? Well, those videos are all on this channel already. If you want to figure out what's happening next, what is the top 50? Well, stay tuned. Tomorrow I will, reveal those. So yeah, for now, those are the that's the list so far. Let me know your thoughts on the list so far in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.